She is, and of course, she didn't actually tweet Tim Pool does thing, or she uses vagaries, because, as I explained...
Tim over-explains what he's saying, which makes it seem like he's hiding something. It makes him seem suspicious.
Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for this show.
They gave Candace basically 3 months, 2 to 3 months to like say what she needs to say, criticize what she needs to criticize, and they just sat there and took it the entire time.
And today, a large portion of people believe Turning Point, the victim, is actually the perpetrator. That's how terrifying the political climate is.
So you believe the FBI story?
So you believe the FBI story? Yo, Tim just stuttered and stammered.
I'm so... What does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh, what the FBI says Tara Robinson did all that. So
do you believe that? I think that the evidence we have seen thus far, Occam's...
You realize that the guy that runs the FBI was on Tim's channel, right? Multiple times? Let's see the propaganda. Let's see what the propaganda is.
Release the footage. That's not gonna happen. And that's the honest truth. But couldn't it just be... somebody was just lurking around and they're just Yosemite Sam, you know, bang, 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 for no reason.
Wait, so he doesn't... So there weren't even shots into his place when he's making this video 3 days ago. So this whole story is somebody at his house heard what they thought might have been gunshots?
My team reviewed security footage that we have on the property. And sure enough, indeed, there's a vehicle. It lines up with one of the buildings, fires a shot, just like reported by security. Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not gonna take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you cower, as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which she's doing to me right fucking now.
Yep.
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has
Actually, let's that's a clip right there. I want to watch this too, but I don't know if we're gonna get to this.
The big question, though, is the right unified? We have the story from Mediaite. Charlie Kirk producer hits back at Candace Owens, accusing her of inciting harassment of those close to him. Now, it is a bit, I don't know, drama to be talking about people instead of policy and politicians, and not so much the politicians, but what they're doing. But Turning Point did formally respond for the first time. And the reason this story matters, it's not so much the people, it's is the right fractured? And I'll tell you this right now. The libertarians are already pissed at Trump, and now MAGA is in internal wars following the death of Charlie Kirk. There are people fighting each other left and right.
Oh yeah, by the way, if anyone's new to seeing my stuff, I respect him way more than I respect Destiny, but Destiny does have really good points. Like, Destiny is not wrong. He's wrong like 50%. Well, he's wrong like 90% of the time when he talks about Trump, but he's correct in the inverse 90% of the time about everything else. So
Marjorie Taylor Greene was unendorsed by Trump, then announced her resignation. Then when Mike Cernovich tweeted at her, you need to serve your full term, she tweeted at him in the weirdest way, being like, men telling women to get in the kitchen and make a sandwich. And it's like, actually, he's telling you to serve Congress. I think it's kind of the opposite. But she's snapping off. And now Candace Owens, of course, with the tweet she put out yesterday saying to demand a refund from the, quote, God-forsaken organization that is Turning Point USA. Everything is being ripped apart. It is creating a prime opportunity for Democrats to win, because Democrats don't suffer these kinds of bifurcations. They're cultists. That's how they're defined, by their obedience to each other.
Don't forget all of your favorite.
Oh yeah, this is why I hate this weird aspect ratio thing that Destiny's doing. Because look at this. You see this? It doesn't full screen it. Like, that is the top of the screen. But there's like, the way that I have this set up, it's just not, it just doesn't work with this aspect ratio. I don't understand why he wants to be different. So we'll get back to this. So like, you can still scroll here, but it's perfectly aligned. I have it perfectly aligned. And he has to mess that up.
Right-wing influencers being exposed as being from India on X like last week.
Were they not only from India but being paid by these whatever this weird stuff is? So we have this this video. This is from the Charlie Kirk Show, and we'll play it for you here. This is actually the tweet. Is Mikey McCoy says, "Not all that's done in the name of truth and justice promotes truth and accomplishes justice. Thankful for the incredible Blake S. Neff and Dr. Frank Turk on the show today. I'll be happy to address all of this in the live stream with you guys. And here's the video."
We wanted to use this segment at the top of this hour to say something important, something very important. For the past 2.5 months, there is a topic that has flooded our Freedom inbox. It has been nonstop on social media, but which we have almost totally avoided on this show. You probably already know what I'm talking about, which shows just how ubiquitous it has been. Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for this show. She has made them against some of Charlie's closest friends and against some of his most dedicated employees. She has suggested that Michael McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, knew Charlie would be murdered, was happy that he died, and stayed silent because he was told he would be the next Charlie. She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is. I have seen his birth certificate myself. She has called it suspicious that Mikey's wife, who works at Turning Point, helped plan the campus tour event where Charlie was murdered, which she didn't, by the way. She doesn't work on campus events. Candace has suggested the Utah Valley University event was unusual and its details suggested a, quote, inside job. She has claimed that foreign aircraft have followed Erica Kirk around the country and that Turning Point has lied about this happening. She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died. She has suggested Charlie's security team intentionally denied him first aid after the shooting to ensure that he died. She has raised suspicions about the head of our technical team because he took an SD card out of a camera. She has spread absurd claims that Tyler Boyer, who we just had on the show, sexually abuses male interns. She has suggested that TPUSA...
Oh yeah, the thing that really infuriates me is that Candace doesn't respond to any of this. Or if she did, she vaguely said something and just dismissed it as like weird. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, everything that Candace does is weird, so... I mean, honestly, that's what people should just do with Candace. Just say, yeah, she's just spreading some weird stuff. She's kind of going through a mental breakdown, so that's why she's doing this conspiracy nonsense against the Candace stuff. But Tim makes a really good point, and we're going to get to it eventually.
Faith-affiliated pastors, like theologian Frank Turek, who we'll have on in a moment, and Pastor Rob McCoy, are part of a military, quote, infiltration of Turning Point, either because they are veterans or because they have family members who are. Even if not everyone has been named specifically, though, Candace has effectively tarred everyone here with complicity in Charlie's death by repeatedly saying he was, quote, betrayed by, quote, everyone. She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too for, quote, knowing the truth. She has made claims of financial impropriety and fraud at Turning Point, adding up into the millions of dollars, which, again, is not true. Charlie made sure the organization was audited by a third party every year. He personally reviewed and he signed off on every expense report and literally every single bill paid by the organization down to a single United States dollar. We have never missed a 990 deadline. Candace has made other stranger allegations involving French paratroopers in maroon shirts, Egyptian Air Force planes flying out of Provo, Utah, and potential underground assassins traveling through unseen tunnels. At one point, in early November, she started wildly throwing suspicion on members of Utah Valley's soccer team for wearing hoodies. I could go on. There is always something new coming up, and none of it ever pans out, because from the start, there has been nothing there. The attacks and allegations from Candace are either lies or they are innuendos thrown...
So, like, they gave Candace 3 months, basically 3 months, 2 to 3 months to, like, talk what she wants to say what she needs to say, criticize what she needs to criticize. And they just sat there and took it the entire time. And now we're in December, because she started this back in September, like right after September 10th, basically, when that happened. But no one's calling. No one didn't want to like say anything because maybe she's going somewhere with this. But it's been continuous, and every single thing that she brings up ends up panning out not really being true, or there wasn't really anything to it. And she just keeps spitballing more and more and more. And now it's getting to the point to where people are just like, okay, well, like, are you going to get somewhere with all these allegations, or are you just going to keep saying these random nonsense and hoping something will stick one eventually? Like it's getting to the point to where it's negatively affecting people's lives, and people are getting death threats because of all these conspiracy theories. So
around with a total reckless disregard for the truth so that Candace can manipulate and string along an audience of people who don't realize they are being played. Instead of being able to grieve properly after one of the most heinous murders in American history, a murder many of us had to witness, my friends have had to endure harassment from people who have gotten whipped up by what Candace is saying. In fact, I would say we have suffered more harassment from these people than we have from Antifa supporters who overtly celebrate Charlie's murder. And just like a lot of those Antifa members, many of these people take this delight in how gross and unpleasant they can be. What our friends have had to endure is not funny, and it's not insignificant. It is evil. I have seen it. For months, we have received hundreds, thousands, I suspect, emails and calls asking us to respond. People have wanted us to invite Candace on the show. But for a long time, our approach was to say nothing. We did that for several reasons. First, we thought that her prevarications were so absurd that nobody would believe them. We shouldn't have to answer questions about secret tunnels or Egyptian Air Force planes.
Yeah,
that sort of
true.
thing is just, it's beneath contempt to respond to. The second reason we've said so little.
yeah, it basically what he's saying, it's so retarded. Like, why would you even, like, there's no reason to respond. Like, you don't respond to a raccoon like hissing at you with words. You just look at it, make sure it's not coming towards you, and you walk away or get out of its vicinity. Like, it's, you kind of have to treat this as like she's a little kid throwing a tantrum, but that's giving too much credit, because you don't really ignore a kid throwing a temper tantrum. You kind of just slowly say calm down or whatever, or do what you need to do. But yeah,
Though, is because there's a good rule of thumb, which Charlie followed. Do not feed the trolls. Focus on the mission. Reviving America, uplifting young people, making heaven crowded. Don't give air to people who want to tear you down and sow discord. Lastly, we didn't respond because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, and we were holding out hope that she would return that friendship and stop what she was doing. But a week from now, it's going to be 3 months since Charlie's murder. Candace has not changed her behavior.
Yep.
She has continued to spread falsehoods about Charlie's friends, and she continues to concoct new ones about new people. She's using these falsehoods to enrich herself while dividing the conservative movement at an absolutely critical time for this country. And far too often, we here have heard from ordinary people, people who loved Charlie and who Charlie loved so much in return. These people have expressed the worry that we are staying silent out of cowardice or as some sort of tacit admission that some of the attacks are true. Neither is the case.
Yeah.
Our silence has never been, and it will never be, equal to complacency or approval. Still, we decided Charlie would not allow this to go on. Charlie was not a coward. Charlie was a fighter. Charlie would not allow someone to spread lies about the people closest to him with impunity. And he would feel ashamed if other people were stepping up to defend his friends while he never did so himself. Candace has mentioned several times that the ball is in our court. So here's what is going to happen. In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. We plan to walk through everything carefully and thoroughly. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix.
I mean, guess what she said to that? She said, "Oh, we'll definitely go." Like, she said, "Give me a time and place. Ball's in your court." And then now they finally said, "Okay, all right. We have a place. We have a time. Can you come?" And then she was like, let me think about it." And then she's like, "Oh, you guys purposely did this so I couldn't go." And I'm like, "Wait, what? What do you mean? You said name a time and place." I was like, "But you knew I couldn't go that way." I'm like, "Wait, how? How?" Like, that's just very convenient, Candace. You said name a time and place. They named a time and place, and now you can't even go. Like, bro, like, this is just, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
At this point, we believe the ball is back in her court.
Like, even Nick Fuentes called Candace out for that, which was hilarious. They're going to mention it in the show, but I want to say it.
Our motivation for doing this is not out of any obligation to Candace. It is about honoring Charlie. We feel a deep responsibility to protect his legacy, his work, and the truth. I feel that. I owe Charlie everything in my life. I feel it immensely. And that is why we feel compelled to speak clearly and openly now. We'll have more on this in the near future.
It's
We wanted
entirely
to
possible
use the-
that moving into this election season, we saw this with the Ron DeSantis fracturing, the conservative Trump base fracturing. Some were saying Trump's got to return. Some were saying Ron DeSantis is the guy. Before Trump announced he was coming back, I said I liked Ron DeSantis, would probably support him. This is like 2022. Then Trump announced he was coming back, and I said he's improved. He's got better demeanor, better behavior. And DeSantis really flubbed it. Still, there is this fracture that exists, but it's like there's like a tacit alliance between those who are just traditional conservatives supporting DeSantis, getting behind Trump even though they don't really like him. I think by the time the midterm comes around, there's a strong probability everyone's back on the same page because the Democrats are going to be coming out with insane policies that we'll all find ourselves at odds with. However, as of right now, everything is fractured, and I think Turning Point has, to a certain degree, some responsibility, not nearly to the degree that Candace Owens does, but and responsibility in they don't have what Charlie had. Charlie is gone, and without Charlie, you lose what made Turning Point and what built this coalition. So when I say responsibility, I just mean like an organization without its captain is not going to do as well, and there already are divisions forming. That is, and take for it whatever you will, the issues that we've had with Turning Point, where we're not going to be there for whatever reason. They've asked us to come back. It's not possible at this point. We have other commitments. Then you have Candace Owens, who is doing everything in her power to destroy Turning Point, which is the principal unifying force, though it has faltered a little bit. This division exists. There are people I see on social media saying there's no division on the right, MAGA's unified, the left is trying to sow division. Oh, it is fried. It is ripped asunder. I mean, Tucker Carlson versus, the Babylon Bee guys and the Megyn Kelly thing they posted. There's no unified right at all. It is now a disparate faction of various anti-left, like non-left groups. And whether they come together around their candidates, I don't know. What I can say is I know my rep. So when the midterm comes up, I already know who I'm voting for. Right? Riley Moore is fantastic, and it's nothing to do with whatever it is that's going on here. So that might not speak to the midterms in the same way. But there may be a lot of people that can't get behind the same candidates, and this division can result in people staying home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if people feel like there's no kind of unified voice on the right, they're definitely not going to go out to vote. Yeah. It's hard enough to get them to vote in the off terms, anyways.
Do you think some of this is because I don't follow the story? I don't, but it's crazy because my X feed is just full of people talking about this, and I don't have any interest in following along with Candace Owens stuff. Is it kept to Twitter, to X? Is this the type of thing where it's not going to make its way into the world?
No, it's
everywhere. Yeah. It's everywhere, and I think. Like Candace tweeted at me earlier, and this is what she does. Some account took a quote from Tim Castile out of context, where we were discussing Candace Owens reportedly makes $10 million per year. That's what Fortune said. And the greater context for you guys watching, you already know this because you watched the show, was that does she really make $10 million? Well, based on the views that she gets, she does one show that gets like 2 million views. We do a bunch of smaller shows. If we did one show, maybe it would be 60-70% the size of hers. We make more than 10 million. I think Candace probably makes more than $10 million. That was the context. In that statement I mentioned, some people are obsessed with status, so they'll bot. I didn't say she did. They took it out of context, cut out the beginning where I literally say she doesn't bot, she has a mass appeal, so that she could then, or not so that, but that then she takes it, and they're offering money now for proof that we bot. She is, and of course, she didn't actually tweet Tim Pool does thing, or she uses vagaries, because, as I explained...
Tim over-explains what he's saying, which makes it seem like he's hiding something. It makes him seem suspicious, because he keeps over-explaining what he's saying, and sometimes repeating exactly the same thing that he said before, as if he didn't say it before, which I do that too, so I kind of understand it, but... He needs to fix that because it's not really, it makes him look kind of suspicious.
And earlier this morning, a politician can't come out and say, if you vote for me, I will do thing to Social Security. Whoa. All of a sudden, you've got 775,000 people in your district, and 100,000 are saying, what do you mean you're going to change the scheduling for Social Security? You can't do that. That's going to screw me up. So how do you do it? You say, vote for me and I will fix Social Security. Yeah. Ask me how. How will I fix it?
You don't know.
The first thing I'm going to do when I get in there is I'm going to go to these politicians and tell them, you stop messing with it. My people need their Social Security. It needs to be fixed. For the younger generation, for the older generation, you don't actually say anything. Otherwise, people get mad. If you keep it as vague as possible, then people fill the gaps in themselves.
That's what...
True.
President Obama did with the Hope and Change. That phrase was plastered everywhere, and everybody that saw it internalized it and decided what hope and change meant to them.
Yep.
And there was no...
And for the people that are like, oh, Destiny, but that's what Trump does all the time. And then Tim says, yeah, Trump does this all the time. Yep. He mentioned it with the Mamdani effect, and he says, like, yeah, Trump did it too. They brought it up during that, and I don't know if they actually. I don't think they bring it up here, but yeah, it like for anyone that's gonna be like, oh, but doesn't Trump do that? I'm like, yes, and Tim also mentioned that as well. So
Actual message from the Obama administration.
Like Kamala Harris forward.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yep.
It's because we're dealing with the lowest common denominator of society. So right now, another thing that I
Mercenary
explained, as I explained
1449.
in great
Hey.
yo, welcome. I'm here. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be going down the Candace Owens rabbit hole, man. It's gonna be fun. It is great. I'm having a grand old time, and factory's getting massive.
detail why Candace is not botting is that you can choose to diversify your content and try and find things that are appealing because politics is boring. Hey, the raccoon story. To be honest, our concurrent viewership is lower today from choosing to do that, but I don't care. I thought it was funny. And, I mean, it is what it is. We talked about it before the show. I said if we do the raccoon thing, we're not going to have as many viewers, but, it's funny and we should talk about it because it matters. But Candace is going the other route. As vague as possible, as terrifying, true drama, true crimey, emotional, female-coded that she can. I mean, and I really do recommend y'all watch her episode from yesterday where she was in love with Charlie Kirk. Again, I clarify, I am not saying this derisively. The way she describes, I'm going to say it again. She's like, I texted him saying, I feel like an alien. And he said, I feel like a time traveler. And I'm like, yeah, that's romance novel stuff. No, for real. That's like romance novel writing for women where it's just like, he looked at me and said, I must be like a time traveler and you're my alien. And she was like, I was his wingman telling him what to wear. Honestly, it sounds like she loved Charlie. Charlie chose someone else, and now she wants to burn down the world all around Charlie Kirk because she couldn't have it.
True. Yep, 100% true. I believe that's 100% true. I should rephrase that properly. Yeah, I think
Mercenary
that's
1449.
probably, yeah.
Wow, wild.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like that's exactly what's going on right now. Her brain broke when Charlie got deleted. She saw the video. It broke a lot of people's minds, but it especially broke Candace's mind. And now she's going on her emotionalist tirade that she likes to do because she feels like she's being emotionally manipulated by Kirk's widow, which is wild to me. Like, why would a grieving person not use emotion to function at this point of her life? Like, she's just being super uncharitable and not giving. Because she started making like criticisms of like, oh, just so because she's grieving, I can't criticize her company. And I'm like, that's not the point, Candace. Not the point.
Rough.
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, I think that's maybe reading a little bit too much. I think really she's just like, how can I get views?
No. Reading it too much? No. What you said before, that was perfect.
Yeah, that's romance novel stuff. No, for real. That's like romance novel writing for women where it's just like, he looked at me and said, I must be like a time traveler and you're my alien. And she was like, I was his wingman telling him what to wear. Honestly, it sounds like she loved Charlie. Charlie chose someone else, and now she wants to burn down the world all around Charlie Kirk because she couldn't have it.
Yep. True. That has to be true. And honestly, we're done with this video. We are, because I have a lot of 2-hour episodes to go through. We're not going to watch the full 2 hours of every single episode. Let me see. Should we go to, we should just jump to the present because this is kind of like the context. But there was one dude. Was it this guy? It was this guy. Tim. Oh, he flipped out on this. This was actually really good. Oh yeah, he has pool water. Everyone go support Tim's. Oh wait, I think he's out of stock. But yeah, he has pool water. It's really good pool water. It's good pool water. Tim pool water. So yeah, let's see.
Taxing. It has been. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more, we have Gary, the numbers guy.
How we doing today, brother?
The numbers guy.
Not well.
I see. Well, I mean, Milo just left, so makes sense.
Milo stresses me out, but I do enjoy his company.
You sure those shots weren't fired at Milo?
Oh, Milo wasn't here.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't here. We had left for the night. We had wrapped the show up, though. Who are you? What do you do?
I do numerology and astrology. Basically, before I came along.
Basically nonsense. Numerology, astrology, all those. It's just like humans have a good have a weird sense of pattern recognition. So anything that they can see patterns in, they'll just automatically assume like, oh, this must mean something like great. And he basically numbers is a religion to him, which is just a little wacky, but he doesn't he explains it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so he explains it just like how, and we'll just get
most people who did this line of work were either women or homosexual men, and I kind of changed that a little bit when it comes down.
Only a
to
little bit, so you are somewhat gay.
No. I'm definitely been married for 21 years, got kids. Okay. We don't do that Milo stuff here. But when it comes down to it, what you have to understand is I believe this is a virtual reality we live in, and I believe numerology and astrology are the cheat codes. And as the show goes on, I'll try to express my thoughts to your audience.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. He thinks we live in a virtual reality. Okay. That's a bit more normal than I was expecting, or that's a bit more reasonable than I thought it was. I guess I didn't hear that part.
It is fun stuff, to be completely honest. It is fun stuff. The Turning Point crew and the Charlie Kirk Show crew. We had received a threat.
Where's Nary 1449?
I don't know if we...
Too woo-woo for me.
Too woo-woo, yeah. I mean, but he goes off directly in the beginning of the episode. So we're only going to see like the beginning part. They talk about the number stuff later on, but I'm like, whatever.
We described at the time in detail because we often refrain from exposing some of the finer details because it will make your security worse.
But after this, there is a Destiny clip, 15-minute Destiny clip that we'll watch, which I haven't watched the full thing. I watched a little bit, and it seemed like the way that he was framing it, the way that they edited this video, because this is completely chopped up, taken Tim out of context. I just wanted to show the real thing before we actually show the completely out of context version and see how manipulative and disgusting that Destiny could be towards people he doesn't like. So yeah, is this here? Is this where we were? I have too many Tim Pool things on right now. Way too many Tim Pool things on right now. No. All right, let me delete this one because we're done with that.
Increase the threat and the risk. And the threat was to come and shoot the place. We were in contact with the FBI. Look, like Cash and Dan have been on the show. Okay, I know these guys, right? And we got in touch directly with some great people at the FBI who said that they were working on this, and they were in touch with our crew. And they believed that it was credible because it fit a pattern of other shootings based on the information that was conveyed in it. And so I believe they're currently tracking that down. I believe I don't know what the deal is going on with it, but I think it's an open case maybe. And it's not the only one we've received. We've received a lot of veiled threats and general death threats. And then Saturday between midnight and 1 a.m., a vehicle slowly approaching the property, opens fire. Then it drives past our driveway.
So yes, it's true. Tim did get literally tried to get. They shot his place up. They didn't shoot at him. They just knew that was his location and decided to shoot at those locations. So yeah, it was like a drive-by shooting. That I am 99% sure that is confirmed.
Way to where our studio is. 2 more shots are fired. And, the first thing everybody did was just, try to rationalize. So the first thing that happens, our security guards report shots fired. And, I mean, it's a crazy thing to hear. And we were out. We had left the show. We were going to hang out, right? We go do our stuff. We get drinks or play poker or something like that. And so I head back, and I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And then, like, some car was lurking around, and it fired a shot or something like that. So, we have increased security. We don't exactly know what's happening at this time. But we've got armed guards, right? So in the morning, we reviewed security footage, and it's 3 clear gunshots. We don't know why, right? We could ignore everything and just say, hey, you know what? Sometimes out in the country, people Yosemite Sam, you know what I mean? They take their guns and they go, pow, pow, pow. But that's never happened before, and we've been here for 4 years. And considering the threats, considering the political climate
Where's
we're in,
Nary 1449? Welcome to Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is like Tim is like explaining his thought process. He's like, nah, he's trying to like rationalize as if it's not something worse than it actually is, but it turned out to not be that. But this is him trying to give like a good faith or a better or a much good faith rationale to why this happened. But yeah, this was in West Virginia, so like people could be hunting and stuff like that. He's gonna mention that.
In a bunch of different ways. I think it was targeted. I think based on the threats that we had received, I think, and escalated quite a bit in recent history in the past couple of weeks, that it was, my thoughts are intimidation. It's like that old story where they said, a guy hears a gunshot in his neighborhood and he runs out into his backyard and he sees an old man firing a gun into the ground. And he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, keeping the property taxes down. So the idea is just the shot itself can disrupt an area. It can cause serious problems with and it can cause problems with our guests. So what would this be if I'm going to do the math and it's just like a random country shooting for no reason right in front of our studio makes no sense. Intimidation makes the most sense. It's not, I wouldn't call it impossible, but I'll try to be vague on security, but it's difficult to come here with weapons because we have a security perimeter. We have armed guards. So intimidation seems to make the most sense. And I think that's what the attempt was. Yeah. And so, here we are. This is the climate we are in. There's no amount of security that can protect you from drive-by shootings. There's no amount of security. So we can have people here and, they can report our bullet-ridden corpses should something truly dark happen. But it's not like they're going to stop someone from pulling off more.
Oh, yeah. The reason why I'm playing this is because Candace is saying that Tim is lying about this, that's the thing that really irks me. Candace is saying, oh, did he really get shot? There's proof that he actually didn't get shot. And I'm like, what proof? And then it's like, because this one dude on the internet that has like 30 subscribers said that he called up a guy and they said that they didn't have any information on this. And I was like, so you just called a random sheriff's department and hoping that that information was spread to them, and you're surprised that they didn't actually like have that information on hand because there's more than just one sheriff's department in the entire United States. Like, it's just so stupid.
More serious attack. So we have to have a discussion, and we've had a discussion earlier today with the company about how we move forward. And, I'd argue that it looks bleak, but I don't think it's reflective of what we do here. I think it's reflective of the greater political climate as to why it looks bleak. I'll throw it to the crew. Just curious what you guys think about everything that's going on, and based on...
I'm just curious, do any liberals have these problems?
No.
Any Democrats have these problems? No. Only the conservatives have problems. We've got people killed. We got people targeted. I mean...
Well, to be fair, Josh Shapiro's house was firebombed.
I will also say Nancy Pelosi's home was raided by a guy with a hammer.
With a hammer? I thought that was a lover of somebody.
Still violence. I don't know if it was a lover's quarrel, but
overall,
there's also
it's
violence.
in California.
There is violence. I'm sure AOC gets a ton of threats.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not, to your point, I mean, you're right. But at the end of the day, like, the actual attacks, I mean, whether it be the attempts on Donald Trump's life, what happened to Charlie Kirk, Steve Scalise a few years back, the shooting at the congressional baseball game, that was intended to target, Republicans. Generally, the attacks that lately have actually resulted in maimings and loss of life, they've all been attacks against Republicans, against conservatives. And whether or not you think it was actually politically motivated was targeted, or if it was just people that knew that they don't like Tim Pool or the stuff that we do here, so they went to try to send a message, that doesn't matter, really, because at the end of the day, the next one might actually be someone that's trying to get a person, whether or not they're targeting Tim or just anyone here. That's something that's a real tangible threat now.
What's one of the first things you guys told me when I came here? No talk of political violence whatsoever. We need the leftists to start doing the same thing.
Well, we said don't make threats.
Yeah, don't make threats. Don't. But
we said don't talk about violence.
Oh, obviously. But what I'm basically trying to tell you is the Democrats will never tell that to their followers.
No,
they'll never tell them slow down. Like when Charlie Kirk died, I was disgusted with all the people who were celebrating.
They either celebrated or they said that's what Charlie gets for speaking these hateful things.
Yeah,
that's the price.
What more could he have expected? I suppose.
And it's something that even even people in Congress. Now, I think specifically when it comes to Charlie and the assassination of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, people in positions of power, they generally had the right. They sent the right message. There weren't people in Congress. There weren't notable Democrats that were saying, "Oh, this is good." But the rank and file were celebrating, first of all. And then if you look back to the summer of riots in 2020, there were plenty of people in Congress egging on the rioters, saying things like, "We need to be out in the streets. We need more of it." You had Kamala Harris was shilling a website that was paying for the legal defense of these people. So to your point, absolutely, there needs to be Democrats that are actually standing up and saying this is something that we disavow, and they need to do it more often, because I think that the people on the ground they hear a totally different message than the one that the major players are playing.
I believe this is more of a symptom of the times than anything else. We live in an era of political assassinations. People feel as though they feel emboldened to take action into their own hands, and they feel as though they're justified in taking that action. It isn't only shots on the President Trump that we saw. In Japan, there was a very a very effective, I hate to use that word, political assassination of Shinzo Abe. I listened to Tim's show earlier today where he put it extremely succinct, but it was so morbid. It was an effective, the most effective political assassination, I think, that
of our generation.
Of our generation, of Charlie Kirk, because what happened following the death of Charlie Kirk, the right is in complete disarray, and I think these people are emboldened by things like that.
And Turning Point has become the perpetrator of the crime in which they were the victim. That is probably one of the most terrifying things out of all of this. Charlie Kirk built an organization that registered young people to vote, convinced young people to support a populist, a pro-American nationalist, all these, this big coalition. He is murdered. By all means, ask questions about by who, whatever you want to think. And today, a large portion of people believe Turning Point, the victim, is actually the perpetrator. That's how terrifying the political climate is. The left doesn't have this degree of self-sabotage. And so if you think about, not only did the left get everything they could have dreamed of from the murder of Charlie Kirk. And again, I don't know what Robinson's political affiliation is. Got a transfer boyfriend. We'll see what the evidence shows.
So you believe the FBI story?
That's
ooh, this was the point of no return. This was the point of no return. So you believe
Lisa
the FBI
Frosty
story?
23. Hey man, hi, my headphones are broke, so can you reply me in chat?
Oh, no, I will not. Let's see, Frosty, no. Why are you here if your headphones are broken? What? Why are you here?
I'm so, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh. Let's go back. Wait, hold up. Let's go back. The question of no return. Oh, man.
The political climate is, the left doesn't have this degree of self-sabotage. And so if you think about...
Technically, they do. I watch a guy named Wick TV. I just wanted to... Okay, no, it's not going to come out properly. WHCH. There we go. Wick TV. This guy, he's actually pretty good when it comes to giving good...
Where's Nary 1449? Boo wick boo.
Yeah, I mean, he can be annoying, but like, I think he does a good job at holding his side to account. He's a small lefty YouTuber, streamer, and I think he does a good job. Yeah, I think he does a good job. He deserves more subscribers. We need more Wicks on the left because they're actually a bit they're better. They're better than the
Lisa
crazy
Frosty
people
23.
on the left.
MRWHYZGuy.
I don't know what that means. But yeah. Let's just let's go back. Oh, we'll watch this too. This is also pretty interesting. But just to be fair on Tim's part, that
not only did the left get everything they could have dreamed of from the murder of Charlie Kirk. And again, I don't know what Robinson's political affiliation is. Got a transfer boyfriend. We'll see what the evidence shows.
So you believe the FBI story?
So you believe the FBI story? Yo, Tim just stuttered and stammered.
I'm so. What does that mean?
Oh, what the FBI says Tara Robinson did all that. So
do you believe that? I think that the evidence we have seen thus far, Occam's.
Do you realize that the guy that runs the FBI was on Tim's channel, right? Multiple times. So yes, of course he's going to believe the FBI a little bit more now that he knows that he has someone that he trusts in the FBI looking at this stuff. So yes, like, bro, like that's an easy, simple answer to do that. But there's a minor personal backstory to why he's stumbling and stammering right now.
Razor suggests Robinson is the likely culprit. We will see what happens in the trial when evidence is presented, but there's literally no other story. Just a bunch of fucking retards on the internet saying stupid shit. And what that does is, the organization that helped get Donald Trump elected, which needs to persist.
I'm going to let Tim cook, so I'm going to be quiet.
I'm going to be a fan of it, but it certainly will help get individual congressional candidates elected and stop Democrats from launching new committees and putting more people in prison like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro. Instead, it's being gutted by fucking psychopaths telling people to pull their donations. So when this organization burns to the ground, or whatever the fuck happens to it, maybe they're fine. The organization that's rallying young people, causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history, is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered, and prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it. It's fucking evil. So you know what? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed? Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I said I was gonna let him cook. I'm gonna let him cook.
is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you cower, as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yep.
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has
Actually, let's that's a clip right there. Let's find the let's see. Can I find? Actually, I'm gonna keep losing my tabs. I'm gonna move that there. But wait, actually, I think they bring it up. I think they'll bring it up.
security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And, you know, it's all lies, it's all hypocrisy, and it is for the purpose of making money, and she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie, she loved Charlie, and she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again, this conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered. Yeah. And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history, and thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail.
What a fucking cunt.
Of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she didn't imply that you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow.
She benefited. I think she's a Fed, and I think she killed Charlie. No one benefited more than her. And now she is, when you look at what's stopping us from winning in 2026 right now, what the biggest threat and the biggest fear we have is, it is the disarray on the right. It is the fracturing of the coalition of all the different voices that came together and stopped the neoliberal bullshit liberal economic order machine that was coming out and telling everybody to chop their dicks off and that you had to get fucking injected or get locked in your house. And here we have a coalition resisting and rejecting that. Charlie Kirk dies, and he's not perfect. He loved Israel. Some people don't like that, but he certainly did organize a movement that brought people together, that helped get Trump elected, helped Republicans win, and resisted what the Democratic Party had been doing and these psychopath institutions. I don't want to go back to COVID. Does everybody remember what that was like? When you were locked in your home, you had to wear 2 masks, and you couldn't go anywhere unless they stuck you in the arm. And the only resistance we had was these feckless loser Republicans who've got nothing done over the past year. And now Charlie Kirk was murdered. And we say, holy crap, what do we do? How do we keep things together? And Candace, with a smile on her face, and Ian Carroll and all the rest of them say, Turning Point did it to themselves. They destroyed themselves. Pull your donations because they work for Israel. Even Nick Fuentes calling it out, saying this is psychotic. So when we lose in the midterms and the Democrats bring back their panels and their subpoenas and they start arresting people like they had already done in the past 4 years, and then we get whatever the equivalent of lockdowns is going to be, and you get President Gavin Newsom, you can mark it all back to this moment when you had evil stand, scream, and cowards refuse to do anything.
With all due respect, always, every single president loses in midterms.
And guess what?
Every single one.
The prediction markets showed that it was near 50-50 based on the political swing that we had seen. Gen Z, the first generation in 100 years to tick slightly rightward in some areas, not all, but some. And this was a big moment because while they were very similar to millennials, they were slightly more conservative in some areas. And we saw that in the past couple of years, Gen Z was actually skewing away from LGBTQIA issues. How is this happening? It is not only nor solely, but largely Charlie Kirk and his work with Turning Point. And so Turning Point certainly has its issues, but there's literally no reason to burn it to the ground. Unless, of course, it makes you famous and rich, you know? So I guess by all means, my issue right now is
people are shooting at you. That's obviously your
certainly
100%. But we lost Charlie Kirk. You're thinking about taking off in the sunset. Who we got left? So Charlie's gone.
Candace Owens. Congratulations.
Okay, we got Candace Owens too.
Good. So you can spin around with your dick in your hand while you sound like a retard to the average person, and then Democrats win.
I mean, but you're taking off.
Yeah, you know why? Because when I get private texts and messages saying like, "Oh yeah, I agree with you, but I would never dare say anything," I'm like, I'm not doing this. My whole life, I have had a disdain for.
All right, so I was trying to look for the actual video, and I think I found it. I was looking through her videos, and I was like, oh shoot, did she delete the video? Did she change the thumbnail? But no, it's in her streams. So like, yeah, this is the thing that they're talking about right now. Who stood to benefit from Charlie Kirk's assassination? You got the guy that was on Tim Pool's show, the head of FBI, and then you got Tim Pool, and then the mystery person with the big ears. Definitely not Netanyahu. Like this is literally like what's going on. Like this is wild. Especially after the shooting. Like she made a video after the whole Tim's talking about he got shot or his place got shot up. Like this video came out after that, which is wild. Which she's just fanning the flames on that, which is crazy.
For those who demand others work for them. Now, I hold on for a minute. Like, I understand we all work for each other. I'm saying, I remember when I was younger, I was like, we're in Chicago, I skateboard, but there's nowhere to skate in the winter.
Which means she's completely being insensitive to any of this information because she's so afraid of being emotionally manipulated. Like, there's a reason why emotion manipulation works. Like when you're a kid, when you feel bad, you feel bad when you do something bad to another human being. Like technically that's an emotional manipulation. Like you do something bad to another human being and then they basically make you feel bad about it. That's an emotional manipulation, but that's a justified way to do that. But she's just so afraid of she's like, oh, a widow? I can't criticize them because she's a widow? That's emotional manipulation. I'm like, yes, she's a widow. It's justified. That's how it works. But she's so afraid of the emotional manipulation nonsense where she's like, oh, you're trying to manipulate me. And I'm like, everyone's trying to manipulate everyone. So Candace, calm down.
So what do we do? Well, holy crap, I figured something out. If 10 of my friends come together and put $100 down every month, we can actually rent a warehouse. And you know what they all said? You do it and then let me know and I'll think about it. Yep. And that's the world and that's what people do. So when people message me saying I wouldn't dare speak up against Candace, I'm just like, oh, fuck off, dude. Coward. But to the people that have started speaking out, calling her out, good. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter in the end. She can say whatever she wants. She can do whatever wackaloon show she wants. The fact that she put me on her thumbnail today, titled "Who Benefited from Charlie Kirk's Death?"
Yep.
Whether she's
kind of
retarded,
wild.
I don't think she is, or doing it intentionally, it doesn't matter. The message is clear. You speak up against her, and she will sick people on you. Is that the purpose? I called her out.
Yeah, absolutely, that was the point. The reason she put you on the thumbnail was because you had the audacity to call her out. It was,
and no one else would, and people don't, and so many people don't. Like when Ben Shapiro was on with Megyn Kelly, and Megyn Kelly deferred, and then said, well, I don't know, and demurred, and then later came out and said, Candace never said that. It's like, you know what, man? She can say every which way a million times, but never directly say it for plausible deniability. Yep. As if we're retarded. It's what a stupid world to live in. So listen, it's not just about her. She comes up because she, I guess there it is. She put me on her thumbnail. She's a piece of trash, and we have death threats against us consistently. For too long, we don't talk about it. Now the problem is the one thing we talked about in October was I think we're one of the few shows that actually invites the public to come. Not like literally anyone in the public, but we probably send out address, location 5 times a day to various people who are booking on this show. Well, for that, we are more likely to get doxxed. I don't know how we continue doing a show like this. I don't know how we do it. And that's the conversation we were having earlier. So it's possible the 19th is the last Timcast IRL. I'm not going to stop doing content, but the general thought is if I only do a solo VOD show, like I used to before we did IRL, then there's no other guests, there's undisclosed location, and I can do the show from a camper in the middle of the desert with Starlink, if that's the case. Right now, the issue is people are coming to our properties, and even property that we had hidden. This is what people don't get. I'll talk to somebody, and the first thing they always say is, well, what you got to do to hide your property, stop. Do you think we've not done that? We've literally done that for all of our properties, and they still get doxxed. Maybe because it's the feds. I don't know. I don't know how they find some of these locations. We put them in trusts. We put them in LLCs. We put them in other people's names or whatever. And whatever legal means you have to obfuscate. And somehow we get swatted. Somehow people are showing up. Packages are being left on. And it's just, okay. So I don't know how we navigate this. But I will say this. The threat has never been more real. And we had to cancel Booney's skate night. There's no way we can invite 50 to 100 people to come for a big skateboarding event. We can't vet. We can't protect ourselves against targeted drive-by shootings or if this really does escalate to a more serious degree. So I don't know if there is an answer. And this is the plain reality of the country that we are living in right now. I want to go to have a meetup event. We want to say like, hey guys, come hang out with us. This is what we did on Saturday. I have to have a security guard come with me to the bathroom. That's and I'm not unique in that.
It's
a lot of people
bot.
live that way.
Bad bot.
More famous and wealthier people than I. What an insane way to live.
But that's a profession you chose. You worked hard. You became number one. When you're number one in anything, you're going to be a target for a whole bunch of people. It is what it is. This is the society we live in.
Well, you know what the issue is? Back in the day, when you were at this level of political influence, you could.
So I really like that this guy, he's keeping it real. He's keeping it real. He's not emotionally charged, and Tim is doing a good job at not blowing up on him, even though he just exploded on. He just crashed out a little bit. But he's like, after he said that, Tim understands that he's not like he's obviously like spitting good facts. Like they're not enemies here. The guy just said a trigger word and he had to explode a little bit and crash out, and now he got that out of his system. So now he can talk rationally because that's how guys are. We get angry and then we vent a little bit, and then now we can talk again.
Could afford security. But the issue now is I would argue that maybe I don't know what number I gave earlier today, but I was like maybe 80% of the content we produce is not seen on our platforms with our advertisers and our members. It's clipped and redistributed through massive networks which all make money off the content we produce, and we can't get that money. So we have the influence.
Oh, he's talking about me. Uh-oh.
That reaches 50 million people, and half of them want to murder me, but we don't have the 10 million viewers per night that would afford us the ability to have a secure facility. And you look at Fox News, and they have a big skyscraper in New York. They've got security guards. You can't even get in that building. You can't get anywhere near those studios, and the glass is probably bulletproof. That's Fox News with carriage fees and big cable networks and, I guess, long-standing position in the market with billions of dollars and probably an endowment that generates money. We don't have that.
Well, listen, just my advice. I'm from Miami, Florida. And I got doxxed, and after I got doxxed and I got swatted, I did two things. Number one, I moved into a high-rise with security. Number two, I got to be good friends with the mayor to make sure something like that didn't happen again. So there are options. There are options. Obviously, you're at a whole different level. But listen, if you get a penthouse in some place in Miami or they say Sunny Isles or someplace in Florida where you have real top-notch security, like the Porsche Tower in Sunny Isles, you cannot get in that building. It's literally the FBI guarding that building.
That's a good point.
So if I were you work too freaking hard to build what you got to give up. Change locations, adapt or die. Again, you adapt in this world or you die. And what I'm basically trying to tell you is move to a better location and do this 10 times harder. The people who fucking did this to you say, fuck you. I'm sorry.
So you deserve it because I went off too. You know what I mean? We're having fun, right? Let me pull this up from Benny Johnson, and it's not just about me.
See, I love how fair Tim is. Like, come on now. Like, bro, he's so fair. This is why I like Tim. This is why I like Tim.
We have 1 week left in this studio for the year. And then we're doing a week in Vegas, which is very secure. And I'm very confident about that because it ain't just our security we're going to have. There's a lot of security that we've been working with. And then the 19th, we go on the Christmas hiatus. It's pretty long this year because I think Christmas is a Wednesday.
Yep.
And then New Year's is a Wednesday too. So there's literally no way around it. When we come back,
expect a lot of streaming around the Christmas time. Because let's just say Elon Musk is giving a week off. He's giving us a week off. Let's just say that. For anyone that doesn't know the meme. Inside joke, the Elon Musk thing is like whenever, because like I think Schwarzenegger, she said, oh, you're working for Elon Musk now because I got the new thing. So like, yeah, I'm working for Elon Musk. Yeah, let's just say that because I want to keep it coded, but it's kind of so I find it hilarious, and I'm gonna keep it that way. So yeah, so let's just say that Elon Musk is he's giving us a week off. He's giving me a week off. So Christmas, expect a lot of streaming. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. A lot of people are not gonna be watching stuff, but I'm gonna be live because Factorio needs to be played. It really does need to be played.
On the 5th, we will be in Florida, and
Beautiful state.
Beautiful state. and we will be doing the show down there as we attempt to figure out how we navigate this.
Go visit them all the time. Be more than happy to give you some introductions. Listen, bro.
I don't know that we have that money.
I don't know you well enough. I just met you, but you work too damn hard to get where you are. To quit because some fucking cowards took some shots at you, bro. You work too damn hard to get in the position to just quit, my friend. And again, I don't know you.
But it's not just quitting.
I mean, you're letting them win. You're letting them win.
No, the idea is
Yeah, Tim is exaggerating. He's not saying he's literally going to completely stop. He's exaggerating. When he says he's going to quit the show, he means the show specifically. He's not talking about his other channels. Like maybe Timcast IRL, this channel right here, is maybe this will stop. That's what he was saying, but he has his other shows. Let's see. Like I can show you. Where is it? So we got Timcast IRL, which is here. Hi. Oh, I've turned off TTS for some reason. Who is this? JTS Simon's official. Simmons official. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff. But yeah, he's not gonna quit his normal show or his Timcast show or maybe he might delete these other two. Maybe Pop Culture Crisis is actually doing pretty good, so I don't know if he's gonna delete that. But maybe Inverted World he might have to leave that. Timcast Clips. I mean, I guess that will always stay a thing. But yeah, like he's only gonna maybe his podcast will get deleted. Or he's gonna reformat his podcast to make it something completely different than what it is now. But yeah, also okay. So I think that's as much context as we really need. Let's get to where Destiny talks about or lies. Let's see. Is he gonna lie about Tim, or is he going to actually be truth? Talk about the truth. Let's look at the beginning. Let's see the propaganda. Let's see what the propaganda is.
release the footage. That's not gonna happen. And that's the honest truth. But couldn't it just be somebody was just lurking around and they're just Yosemite Sam, bang, bang, bang for no reason?
Wait, so he doesn't. So there weren't even shots into his place when he's making this video 3 days ago. So this whole story is somebody at his house heard what they thought might have been gunshots. Here's Tim saying he has multiple videos of the shooting, but he won't
Nope. Nope.
release them all.
So when I return home after going out with the boys on a Friday night, hanging out, laughing, having a good time, none's the wiser. And then we hear security's on high alert. They're monitoring. The extra guys have come out. We pull up. They're standing guard at our perimeter fencing. We have a gate, and said they heard shots fired. They were on the property where our studio is, and they heard the shots.
Okay, so somebody heard shots fired. Okay.
And there's video evidence, and he's not going to show the video evidence because it's going to literally give away where his cameras are, his hidden cameras are on the property. So like, like if Destiny ever, if he says that, he's lying because he doesn't want to show the evidence, then I'm like, oh, okay, Destiny, why don't you give out the positions of all your cameras, right? Why don't you do that? Oh, you won't do that? Oh, okay, shut the fuck up.
And went and investigated. We have...
Because I know Destiny is also in an issue, just like Tim, with people not liking him and being super crazy and wanting to do really crazy stuff to Destiny. Let's just say that. Like, Destiny has some people that don't like him too. And for different reasons, but they will... Destiny does deal with security issues. Definitely does. That's why he lives or rents or lives the way that he lives right now. Like he doesn't talk about it because you're not supposed to talk about it. Tim actually has the guts to actually talk about it. All you would know is that maybe the only thing that you'll know from Destiny for any security thing is that he just changed the room. Why did he change the room? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he just wanted to change rooms. Or maybe it was a security issue. Who knows? He keeps it vague because that's what you're supposed to do. So I want to see, how is he going to rationalize this? Because he's smart. He should know this.
4 videos of what happened.
We have 4 videos of what happened.
Well, I'll put it like this. We're not going to be, at this time, for security reasons, I got these people screaming, release the footage. And the concern we have is obvious. To then show everyone where we put our cameras, that's not going to happen. And that's the honest truth.
True.
That's why I tweeted out, if anybody had been archiving the Chicken City live stream, this is inside of our chicken coop. It doesn't reveal. It's designed specifically not to expose the property, the location, or anything like this. And you would have seen the reaction from the chickens. I know it sounds a little bit silly, but... And so where does it leave us now with what happened? Well, of course, there are some people that don't want us to be having this conversation, even right now. They're probably furiously preparing tweets, riling up their audience, preparing for shows, people who don't like me for whatever reason, saying that we're lying, making things up. None of this can be...
Okay, yeah, nothing happened. His wording is so careful. Yeah. Nothing happened. This is all bullshit.
Charlie Kirk is dead.
Yo, okay, yeah. So he's being careful in what he wants to say, but he's like, oh, nothing happened. Oh, okay. All right, good one, Destiny. Nice. Based.
A couple
Oh my
months ago,
God, he's trying to ride
he was murdered.
that Kirk wave.
We have a suspect. We don't know exactly what happened. There are many questions around how it all went down, what makes sense and what doesn't. Why did Charlie's security team not check the roof access? Well, they said the police told them that they got him covered. But that's no excuse for private security. So this is the conundrum for us.
I hate that he can just like lie about like everything too, because people don't know. Like, why didn't they check the roof access? That's no excuse for private security. What private security, bro, are you getting who are clearing out like the roof access in publicly accessible buildings in like a 500-yard radius? Like, no.
For the president of the United States? Like, what? What are you talking about? Why are you acting like this is not a normal thing? You know that you know there was literally an assassination attempt on Trump, right? And for them to not do it for Trump's literally biggest supporter is honestly kind of wild that they didn't actually do that or have that type of security. Like, it's crazy. Someone literally tried to do it and failed against Trump, and now we're just pretending that didn't happen. There's no president was set. Like, it just didn't exist. It was a fluke. It was a fluke. And then Charlie gets deleted, and now we're like, oh well, I mean, it was a fluke. It was a fluke. Like, I guess we're just not going to take security seriously anymore. Like, this is I don't know what type of, this is like a retarded take, honestly.
Nobody does this. What are you talking about? What private like, maybe if you're the, I would say maybe if you're the president, but even the president's Secret Service wasn't clearing the rooftops that well. Like, who, unless you're...
Yeah, they learned from that mistake. Like, bro. So like, this has become president. I guess things just happen. I guess it's weird. He picks and chooses when he wants things to happen linearly with time versus when it's not. Like, he won't assume now that this did happen, that they won't actually like look into this. It's just so stupid.
You're literally paying like $50K or whatever for a single security event for like one day. Literally nobody is doing this level of shit. That's crazy.
Our security's pretty good. I mean, this is why I think nothing worse happened. And it was just a vehicle firing shots driving by. We've been here for years. We've been here for about 4 years. This has never happened before. And so considering the time we are in, the threats we have received, and the recent assassination of Charlie Kirk, the intelligence assessment is, yes, these threats are real. Not all of them. You know how the internet can be. I want to believe, and I've asked a million times of our security, of our friends, political people in D.C., but couldn't it just be, somebody was just lurking around and they're just Yosemite Sam, bang, 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 for no reason? The response I get from everybody is,
wait,
Yosemite Sam, political people in D.C., but couldn't it just be, somebody was just lurking around and they're just Yosemite Sam, bang, 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 for no reason?
Yeah. Now, Destiny's going to take him when he's trying to give the plausible deniability on the other side to make it seem like it's not as bad. He's going to be like, oh, this is actually the truth. What he's actually saying, oh, this is the truth, guys. See, the thing that makes him look bad, that's obviously the truth. Like, bro, this is the most retarded thing that he could possibly do right now.
The response I get from everybody is, maybe that's just wishful thinking. Regardless, it's either an omen.
Wait, so he doesn't. So there weren't even shots into his place when he's
See, like, what type of response is that? He's not even listening to the guy
making this video 3 days ago. So this whole story is somebody at his house heard what they thought might have been gunshots.
It's become too dangerous, even if it's not targeted, or it's gotten to that.
Actually, wait, hold up, because this is bothering me to the point to where I need to actually show something. Is this a video? Is this a dude? Yes, this is the dude. Okay, all right.
My team reviewed security footage that we have on the property. And sure enough, indeed, there's a vehicle. It lines up with one of the buildings, fires a shot, just like reported by security, passes over the driveway, fires 2 more shots, in line with our studio. And, that was, unfortunately, at that time, Chicken City only archives about 12 hours. So anybody who was archiving Chicken City would have been able to have captured any of this. Other than that, we only actually have our...
Well, I guess if Tim Pool is lying, he literally just brought up the exact same thing that he said before which this is December 10th, and Destiny's watching a video that's a few days older than this. This is an updated video of what's going on. Looks like Destiny didn't really do his due diligence here, but that's just normal. That's normal Destiny workaround. Doing his due diligence on people he doesn't like? Yeah, right. Okay, good one. All right, so yeah, let's go back to this.
So he doesn't. So there weren't even shots into his place when he's making this video 3 days ago. So this whole story is somebody at his house heard what they thought might have been gunshots.
It's become too dangerous, even if it's not targeted, or it's gotten to that serious of a degree. So I think any rational assessment is a person driving slowly up, approaching our property. We're in the middle of nowhere, mind you. We're not in a city. That's what we call it. Any rational assessment is a person driving slowly up, approaching our property. We're in the middle of nowhere, mind you.
Oh, so he did watch the video. Okay, so Tim Seat knows that this is actually what's going on, right? Tim gives a good faith, reasonable misunderstanding of what could possibly go on. Oh my God, you're gonna keep doing this, aren't you? I might have to pause research, but whatever.
We're not in a city. That's what we call it, the boonies, right? And firing a shot, it's a shot is fired once they become parallel with one of the structures on the property.
So he literally explains it in this video, but now Destiny's like, what? He's just lying here. What is he gonna say? Actually, maybe he might actually be big brained and actually do something in good faith, but no, he's probably gonna do something in bad faith, and it's gonna show how stupid and retarded this guy is when it comes to people he doesn't like.
And then
said that a million times.
A few seconds later, as they become parallel with our studio, several more shots are fired. 2 more shots.
Two?
The assessment is aiming at one of the houses and then aiming at the studio.
But they missed?
It wasn't just
all the shots?
Pop-up. It lines up with where the vehicle is at. So I'd love to just say people randomly shoot for no reason. It just doesn't happen. We're out in the boonies, right? There are wooded areas. Most of them, maybe not most, but many of them are marked no hunting. But, people on their properties, they go shooting in the backyard. This we know. This we understand. And so the security assessment is this was intentional. This was targeted. Now, what we don't know, were they actually intending to kill? I don't think so. I don't know if it matters. Seems like intimidation. Fire several shots late at night, put our security on alert. And for what reason?
Yep.
What security? Bro, you do not have 20. I don't know. When was I there? Was it a year and a half?
Mercenary 1449. That Destiny, he's not on the side of good faith.
Yeah, it's obviously, it's impossible for him to be good faith to people to Temple or to MAGA or to any, it's impossible for him to be that way. But I just love pointing it out because it makes him look retarded and stupid. So I'm gonna clip it out and it's gonna be great. DGG clips, thank you for doing this for me. Thank you. It's great. I love it when he talks about Tim because I know Tim way more than I know than Destiny does. So I can make Destiny look really stupid because I watch him. I know how he thinks. I know how Tim is. I know how he reacts. I can give Tim a fair shake, but the Destiny just likes to just meme. He just memes. He's not a serious person. Don't take Destiny seriously.
Half ago, 2 years. What was my last?
That is the end goal of doing this, honestly.
Pull episode. I've never seen.
Put our security on alert. And for what reason?
What security, bro? You do not have 20. I've never. Well, I don't know. When was I there? Was it a year and a half ago? 2 years? What was my last Tim Pool episode? I've never seen fucking security.
Yeah, this was. I think the last time he came was over 2 years ago. Which
Mercenary 1449. The formula is Tim greater than Destiny.
Yes, that is exactly what it is.
Security at this, but you just drive right up the fucking driveway. Maybe they got something more recently.
People who work here cannot feel comfortable if shots are being fired at us.
He claims he pays millions for security. That's a fucking lie. Most billion.
What do you mean? Security is very, very expensive, especially in the middle of nowhere. It's just yeah. I mean, he's bad faith. We all know that.
Millionaires don't pay millions for security. That's a fucking lie.
Actually, no. How much does advanced security cost? Wait. How did he say that? Because if he says millions per year, maybe.
Fucking lie.
If people who work here cannot feel comfortable if shots are being fired at us.
He claims he pays millions for security. That's a fucking lie.
Oh, okay. So he literally just read that from a chat. Okay. All right. Good one. Yeah. All right. So let's ignore that. Tim didn't even say that. He's reading that from a chat. Good one.
Most billionaires don't pay millions for security. That's a fucking lie.
Guests we have tried to book have told us explicitly, though this isn't as common, They don't want to come on the show because of these threats.
No, bullshit.
We're 2 months out, as I mentioned,
Who? Nope. No, I can't say who because about. Yeah, bullshit.
from the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Bro, you do realize that a lot of people don't want to be on your show because of threats, right? Oh, but if they go on Tim Pool's show, that's a completely different story. Good one, Destiny.
And more people.
You say the exact same
maybe
thing.
right after the Charlie Kirk thing. Maybe.
What do you
think
mean, maybe?
you all realize are going into hiding. I mentioned this after the assassination, that there are several prominent conservatives that have already gone into hiding. And what does that mean? Does it mean that you haven't heard from it? No, they're still doing their shows, but you don't realize they moved locations. Some people are living on distant rural locations surrounded by walls and cameras and armed guards. And while that kind of describes what we are doing, it's mostly our workplace, and we like to do a little security through obscurity, which means if you don't know where we are, then we're much more safe. But there have been producers, financiers, actual commentators that you have not realized are in new locations. Or maybe you may have noticed the room changed. They're in a different place right now. And it's largely for security reasons.
Yeah. Sounds like what Destiny did here.
I had a conversation with a lot of people over the past couple of days because,
Yeah, that's why he's not going to say anything, because you know that's 100% true. Good one.
for one, obviously people were deeply concerned to hear that this happened. And, excuse me. And I'm trying to get a feel for things. I'm trying to get a feel for where are we at? Where am I at? What is the real risk to us? When I go out places, let me explain to you guys. When I go out places, I have bodyguards because we are getting consistent threats. And it's insane to me because I look at all this and I think to myself, who am I that we need this? We want to do a meetup event. I have a bodyguard follow me to the bathroom and stand outside the stall. I'm walking through a restaurant or a shopping center, and as people are walking towards me, I have bodyguards, and one will grab...
Bro, who are you? What? This guy's walking around like he's the fucking president of the United States? You're walking around with...
Yes. Because he doesn't want to die.
I don't even think A-list celebs will go around with necessarily with like bodyguards every single place that they go. What the fuck? Come on, dude.
Have the people and push them out of the way as they get too close to me. It's a messed up way to live. And now imagine, for my wife and child, what she needs, what she wants.
Wait, does he have a wife and kid?
Bro, this is how you know he doesn't pay attention. He doesn't pay attention. Like, if you're gonna get your anti-Tim Pool news from this guy and he doesn't even know that he has a wife and kids now, that's just wild. Like, bro, this was announced like how long
Where's
ago?
Nary 1449? Oi, this guy stinks.
Yes, like, bro, like this, he's just like, this guy's a joke. Destiny's a joke. You're gonna listen to him for why he thinks Tim Pool is lying or stupid, and he doesn't even know that he has a wife and kids. Like, bro, how do you not know this? Even Tim knows that you have a son. He did his due diligence on you, but you don't even. Okay, good one, Destiny. Good one.
And how she's living, and my choices to be in the space affect her. We work together. So I have to consider that as well. And there's no way for a woman to raise a child, nor for me to allow my family to live. And you know what?
Oh, are we gonna get the? Nah, he's just lying about that. True, he's just lying. Or you're gonna say that, Destiny? Oh, bro, if he says that, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be great because that's what people like Destiny do. They just say, if they can't believe it, just call them a liar and that's it, move on. As if, yeah, okay, good one.
A lot of people live this way. A lot of people
the
do.
debate tactic.
At least for many of the celebrities, there's no political charge to it. Well, let me tell you something else.
Wow, and he completely debunked what he just said. Not even celebrities have this. And Tim's like, yeah. Not even celebrities have to go through this. He literally pre-watched what Destiny was gonna say in the past. Bro, that's wild. Look at him smiling because he knows that he just got owned there.
A contractor, I don't want to say quit, but there's a contractor that we are working with who...
Wait, listen to that one more time, actually.
People live this way. A lot of people do. At least for many of the celebrities, there's no political charge to it. Well, let me tell you something else. I had a contractor, I don't want to say quit, but there's a contractor that we are working with who started getting a lot of heat when people realized they were contracting with us. And they were, I can't believe this is happening, but you know what's funny? This is not the first time this happened. But we've had several contractors in the past, and I warned some of these guys, say, listen, it's very political right now, and the tensions are hot. Too hot. Well, sure enough, I get a call, and they're like, I did not realize how bad it was out there. And I asked them, what about me is putting your other contracts at risk? You mean like you want to build a chicken coop or something and someone's like, I won't work with you? That's how crazy it is right now. So change is coming. This is not sustainable. I believe the real purpose, let me put it like this. I'm a rational guy. Maybe I suffer sometimes from optimism bias and normalcy bias. We just want to believe it doesn't exist. It's not happening. But how does it sound? To any of you who have been paying attention, Charlie Kirk murdered. Trump, with the best security in the world, took a bullet to the side of his head. So when something like this happens, the only conclusion we can make, and our guards and local law enforcement and police and even the feds are contacting, when something like this happens, with the best security in the world, took a bullet to the side of his head. So when
Yeah, shot in the neck. I don't know why. Whatever. Okay,
something like this,
He literally, bro, he's not even paying attention to what he's saying. He said Trump, and you're just assuming he's talking about Charlie Kirk. What are you talking about? Holy crap!
put it like this. I'm a rational guy. Maybe I suffer sometimes from optimism bias and normalcy bias. We just want to believe it doesn't exist. It's not happening.
Like he's not
But how
even
does it
listening
sound?
to him.
To any of you who have been paying attention, Charlie Kirk murdered. Trump, with the best security in the world,
Trump.
took a bullet to the side of his head. So when something like this happens, the only conclusion we can make, and our guards and local law enforcement and police and even the feds
And
are
he
contacting, when
pauses and goes back because he was like, all right, let me like re-listen to that again.
something like this happens, with the best security in the world, took a bullet to the side of his head. So when
Yeah, shot in the neck. I don't know why. Whatever. Okay,
something like this
true.
happens,
Yeah, he's not even, I mean, this is I'm cherry
Where's
picking,
Nary
but like it's a small
1449?
little thing.
Destiny isn't human.
Yeah, he's human. He's just a really. So I wouldn't go as far as calling him inhuman. It's just that he just like how Tim has been jaded by Candace. Destiny has been jaded by the whole MAGA movement because he just has a completely different worldview. He's human. He just has different opinions, but he thinks that his opinions is like truth and facts, and he knows all the facts, and everything he does is factual and everything. And apparently he didn't know about Tim Pool's wife and kid. So Mr. Facts and knows everything doesn't even know that basic information about Tim. Like, okay, good one, but he knows how to he knows best on what memes we need to spread and lies that we need to spread about Tim and the Russia stuff. Yeah, true. Yeah, we should all listen to him about that when he doesn't even know that he has a wife and kids, bro. Like, it's just, we don't need to dehumanize him. Well, I mean, we could dehumanize him, but he is still human. He's just a human with really stupid opinions. Let's just say that.
the only conclusion we can make, and our guards and local law enforcement and police and even the feds are contacting us, is this was for a reason. I believe that if they had a clean shot and an opportunity, I would be dead. I'm not saying I'm the first target. Clearly, I'm not.
Oh, he's talking about Trump? Oh.
Yes, you retard.
The ear head
Thank
thing?
you. Yes.
He got shot in the head. Okay.
The side of his head, you retard. Okay, good one, Destiny.
Check out my new head piercing.
Many other more prominent personalities that I believe have been.
Yeah, with that comment, I can see why you would want to dehumanize him, because he's literally just making fun of the fact that Trump
Where's
got
Nary
shot.
1449?
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe the drugs he takes remove sympathy for anyone.
No, it's very selective. Destiny's very selective of what he wants to give sympathy. Like, he'll give sympathy to we will. Wait, where'd I put it? Yes, we will watch this, because this was actually very interesting. Right after this, though,
And will be targeted. And I'm not trying to say that lightly. Knock on wood. But obviously, Charlie Kirk was murdered. And you can believe by whoever you want. We'll see the evidence, I suppose. We'll see the trial. We'll figure these things out. But it did happen. And that's where we're currently at. I believe there are many other prominent conservative personalities who would be dead were it not for the security measures. I think there is one main reason to do something like this, what we saw on late Friday night, Saturday morning.
Yeah? What was that?
They want to end the work we do.
Wow.
And they might. The question now is, how do we balance all of the costs of producing a show?
yeah, Destiny's getting what he wants. He's literally. This is the thing that sucks. Tim is literally doing what Destiny wants. Destiny wants Tim to just disappear and stop spreading what Destiny would call propaganda or anti or fascist rhetoric or whatever name calling nonsense that he wants to give out. But yeah, so Tim is literally, but that's how it sounds like, honestly. But I think Tim has got a good plan. He's going to continue, but it's probably going to go remote or something.
While hiring 24/7.
That's what I think is what's going to
expanded
happen.
Security. We already have security, but now we have a gate. We have cameras. We have hidden cameras.
You have a gate and cameras. Okay, welcome to every large house in any big neighborhood in America. Okay,
Or we can just let him speak to what he's going to say next. Okay, good one.
good job.
Audio recording. We're all armed. We now need to add several more. I try to keep the security stuff vague for a reason. because we don't want to expose how our security is operating. The cost could range from $2 to $6 million in increased costs over something like
Yeah.
this.
Okay. So, yeah, Destiny just made fun of him of saying the thing that every other big house has. But yeah, that's the whole point. He's mentioning only the things that most people have. He's not going to go specifically on the new stuff that he might have in the background. So, yeah, good one, Destiny. He proved that that's the whole point. Yeah, you made fun of him for saying, "Oh, look, he only has these things." Yeah, everyone has it. Yeah, that's the point. He's not giving out specific things, dumbass.
A year? What could you
Wait, what happened?
Add several more. I try to keep the security stuff vague for a reason, because we don't want to expose how our security is operating. The cost could range from $2 to $6 million in increased costs over something like this.
A year? What could you possibly spend $200,000 a month on? What does he have, like 10 full-time? Does he have security guys sleeping in his room?
Especially as we're going
Is he followed around by fucking Aragorn? What are we talking about here?
into a political year. This is an off year. The election ended a year ago. It's when
There's a possibility that he could be getting scammed, but he has like a giant compound now with a lot of different people doing a lot of different things, and he's trying to make sure that the entire company and all of his other houses are secure. So yes, this can easily get up to those numbers. Calm the fuck down. Come on, Destiny. Do you have like a whole company with dozens? I don't want to say hundreds. I don't think he's in the hundreds part of employees, but bro, do you have multiple buildings that you need to secure and keep like in the lockdown? Do you bring in guests from airports and have to make sure that those people are like secure as well? Like, bro, do you have a whole massive compound? Like, are you securing your entire place that you've rented out? Like that entire building? Are you in charge of like keep making sure that security is like legitimately like just being like there? Like you don't pay for the entire security of your entire apartment building, assuming that's where he lives. Like, because he said that he rents, so I'm assuming that it's an apartment building, some fancy apartment building with other people there, that he's obviously not paying security for all those other people in that apartment building. But yeah, like you're just one guy with maybe a minor company here or there with maybe 1 or 2 employees. Tim actually has like an entire compound of different people doing different things that he runs all on his own. Single owner. Yeah. Like you just don't even understand. You can't even imagine that. Like it's out of your worldview. Let's just say that.
1 year now. And we're looking at several assassination attempts on the president. We're looking at the death of Charlie Kirk. And you know what really is terrifying?
What?
The assassination of Charlie Kirk may be the most effective political assassination in our history.
Wow.
The suspect is presumed to have leftist sympathies, left-aligned ideology. And now, because of conversations from many prominent individuals, I'm not singling out any one person, there are many people doing this,
Canada's zones.
Turning Point USA has become the perpetrator of the crime against themselves.
Yep.
Believe whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. But this political movement, organization, that was rallying young people to vote, that was changing hearts and minds, that was educating youth, again, whatever your opinion of them is, whether you like their opinions or not, they were doing this. And it is unquestionable that they got Donald Trump elected. And there are many people who didn't want that to happen.
Yep.
Turning Point USA would have been the principal organization to help Republicans win the midterms, breaking the historical trend of the opposition party taking the House. With Charlie Kirk's death, we are now seeing disarray. Maybe they'll be fine. It's certainly not the same without Charlie. But the fact now that Turning Point...
Isn't this the guy that called for civil war more than 10 times this year? Now he's crying about threats. What did he think civil war was going to... He's not crying about threats. He's either e-begging right now, or he's setting himself up to just retire because he's getting bored of the show. He's probably bought it a decent amount of viewership, or it's not as real as he wants us to think it is, and he just wants to retire, especially now that the Russian money's gone. I don't know. That's my guess. But...
Yeah, bro. See, this is what, like... That's his thought process. Yeah, I guess he's not. Isn't this the guy that cried about civil? No, he didn't cry about civil war. He literally said he's the guy that says civil war is going to happen, and now it's kind of happening, and we've always been in it. And now Destiny's like, oh well, I guess Tim was always right. Instead of saying that, he's like, now I'm gonna give the bad face response, be like, oh the Russian thing. Like he just lives in a completely different world. Like listen to that slop, that disgusting, smothering slop of like anti-Tim propaganda. Like this is the thing that what he actually believes of Tim.
They'll be fine. It's certainly not the same without Charlie. But the fact now that Turning Point...
Isn't this the guy that called for civil war more than 10 times this year? Now he's crying about threats. What did he think civil war was going to... He's not crying about threats. He's either e-begging right now, or he's setting himself up to just retire because he's getting bored of the show. He's probably bought it a decent amount of viewership, or it's not as real as he wants us to think it is, and he just wants to retire, especially now that the Russian money's gone. I don't know. That's my guess. Or he's just doing the e-begging thing. In this video, he says nothing like this has happened in the 4 years he's been at this location, but now look at these tweets from 2022. Oh, wait, I thought this was about the most recent event. This is an older one? I didn't even realize it. There's a 9mm bullet lodged in my kitchen now. I can't say I'm surprised this happened after the wave of doxing and threats made against us.
His brother shot that bullet, by the way.
Yep, according to the tweeter. Give me $1 billion.
Yeah, according to the conspiracy theories. Yeah, we're gonna listen to conspiracy theories when it benefits Destiny, but when it compares to Biden, those conspiracy. We can't talk about that. No, that can't happen. No, Hunter Biden, Ukraine. What? No, there's no substantial evidence for anything. What? Okay, good one, Destiny.
Dollars in a private jet and then make all the threats you want. Yes, the bullet hole in my kitchen is totally fine because I'm rich, right? Just got word that a crew broke into one of our properties. They are lucky to be alive. After nearly being struck by a 9mm, they panicked.
Bro, he's literally reading tweets of Tim Pool when we all know that Tim Pool just shits posts on Twitter. He's gonna read these as if it's like true. Like, bro, I don't. What did he do before? Didn't he like quote tweet like the Ron DeSantis thing, like pretending to support Ron DeSantis, and then he literally was like, actually, no, sorry, this was just a gag meme. This was and then Ron DeSantis actually thought this was an endorsement on him, and then Tim on his show later said, well, I was just sitting here, like he literally just was doing that just to, because like he was making fun of all the people that said that he was.
Mercenary 1449. Tim never got charged. Destiny, check your hard disks. Return of the Willie Mac. Once again.
True, actually.
And dropped their belongings and fled the property. Please stay the fuck away from my buildings. This is West Virginia, and you will get hurt. They dropped their belongings and fled. What the fuck? No one got hurt. Police are on the scene now.
Probably the richest man in West Virginia.
I mean, he probably is, actually. He probably is. West Virginia is kind of a poor state. So, like, yeah. He probably is literally, unironically. This other retard in his chat, or his Discord thing, is saying this as if that's, like, unironically, like, not true, but it is probably true.
Jesus Christ. It's funny when anti-gun people pretend to know about guns. Guy claims a 12 gauge is better than an AR-15 for home defense. I don't know why people stand shotguns so hard for home defense.
Yeah, because you come inside, boom, that's it. You're gone. There's a giant hole in your entire body because shotguns are devastatingly lethal. Let's just say that.
I feel like a rifle is just it's just the best kind of weapon, okay? It's like that journalist claiming to get PTSD from an AR-15's recoil. God forbid you ever go turkey hunting with a 12 gauge. Why wouldn't you use frangible ammo? And why assume your AR is chambered 223? I got a 9mm AR with hollow. Wait, is he saying 223 because the guy brought out 5.56? Why would you chamber your AR at 9mm? Why would you, first of all, you would assume that it's AR-15 probably because, or you'd assume it's 5.56. AR-15s ordinarily come chambered for 5.56 rounds. Why would you mod an AR-15 to shoot 9mm? Why not just get like a fucking Vector or like some pistol caliber carbine? Or
you know, AR is assault rifle, right? Like 9mm is just cheaper than freaking. Why wouldn't you use? Okay, yeah, whatever.
Whatever at that point. Why would you ruin an AR-15 that way? Vector? What are they called? What are the
ruin? Yeah. Why would you ruin the AR-15? No, he's not. Like Tim obviously is not doing it because he's doing it to ruin the AR-15. He's doing it because either 9mm is cheaper than assault rifle ammo, normal, or 9mm is going to shoot holes into people almost as effectively, basically just as effectively as actual like a rifle ammo. That's what I'm assuming. But like, bro, it's utility over aesthetic and functionality. Like, it's, come on, like this is not that difficult to understand.
Things in CS:GO.
An UMP, a UMP.
No, it is a Vector. Yeah, I still need to buy one. Someday I'll get one when my lawsuit is over.
All right, so yeah, this was just stupid.